up and down inconsistency that comes with Config in these last few months, despite him being kind of BlameF's original right-hand man. And Astralis, one of those teams that didn't make changes, right? You say every couple, or a couple times every year we get to have this conversation about fresh rosters. This was one where the moment the player break started, there's a tweet from the coach saying like, "No, we're not making changes," and everybody took that as like, well, that's what you said last time. But they didn't. They stuck to this core. I feel like some spots were expected to change, and unfortunately for them, it's more of the same. It's a loss to begin the day.
Yeah, well, we had this moment where the Copenhagen Flames disbanded and they spread out into different teams. You know, Nigadal's on Fnatic, Hooksy, G2, and those provided some interesting turns, I think, for these two teams. But for Astralis, I mean, maybe they should have taken advantage of that, and maybe they should have made a roster change. We'll find out if that's going to be the case, but full credit to the teams that want to try to stick together. Yep. People are more fickle than ever these days. Yeah.
So let's get into it, folks. It's Mirage between OG and Astralis. It's not elimination. There's no qualification. We're just seeing who is slotted into that 4th seed for the first group of the 2nd season of the year. Counter-Strike back in action.
Yes. Yes, indeed. So immediately into the cat split, and Zipix back here is going to see them a little late. No early warning upside connector.
Yeah, no spot in from Farley towards window, but Config picks up the early kill. And then Zipix, nice positional side of the smoke, but oof, it's really Config and Farley to deal the damage. Degster's with the response, down to 40 health himself. Support just behind him on Arch, and Degster getting dangerously close. Now, bomb dropped on Fan makes things weird. Oh, there's the end from Farley. 2 crisp headshots. Locks in a pistol for Astralis, and we just saw that interview with Zipix. He says, BO1s, pistols are important.
Yeah, a couple clean ones. That was really nice from Farley. And again, to continue on from his already good start to the day. And we'll get to witness this shot again. Ooh. Wow, that's a, I think we needed Anders to say Inhuman reactions for that flick. That was a good one. So Astralis with the 1-0 start. Mirage is a map that comes in, which is kind of an interesting one because it's not a high win rate map for Astralis, but it is something that they've tried to make their own. And when they got on BlameF and Config, 2 of the best Mirage players in the game, it made sense that they tried to play it. And fair play to Config, this is one of the maps where he's been more consistent, even though he's struggled overall.
We'll be looking to bank on that then today. 1 of 3 rifles in the hands of Astralis, MP9s for Glaive and Zipix, and BlameF's opening kill is onto Nexa. More where that came from. Easy second one. As we, of course, still have Neofrag for OG as well. And I feel like with Dexter coming into the team, Neofrag and the conversation around him, it's a bit more muted, understandably. You know, he's got less impact than the star that has been Dexter. But overall, it's a good-looking OG that gets swept away by guns.
Yeah, it's decent. I think Neofrag was quite good in Lisbon alongside Dexter, and that helped get him to playoffs. But I think since then, I think he's not been that great, unfortunately. So I think Neofrag needs to step up a bit. But I'm sure he's got some space. I expect more from Flamesy as well, with somebody who I really thought was, going to be able to break into top 20 this year. But it doesn't seem like that's going to be possible. Now we're into this first rifle round of the match. Early setup here towards the A ramp.
An early push.
Yes, they've countered the aggression quite instantaneously. Oh, but the volley goes far.
Looking to catch him on their fallback, and sure enough, that's Farley down by bricks. Glaive locked into this fight, whether he wants to or not. And the smoke's gonna help. If that Palace player comes out, suddenly Glaive's got much more of a chance of holding on. Goes over and goes down. Flames catching that one as well. 2 kills from the young gun. Fiku exits out from Palace, and there is no stopping this OG in terms of getting the bomb site. Yeah. Fast flank from Config, unchecked, and Dexter caught jumping.
Yeah, they tried to transpose into this A ramp tactic, and the molly that they threw would have been great if OG weren't already up the stairs. So the flash, I think the lamp flash came out, they took that early fight, 1 down, and because they had to dismantle the Palace push, they weren't in the best positions possible, and they weren't exactly ready for that, so really nice from OG to move that fast. It looked like they were going to have some trouble scaling, though, and I think I noticed that in their first game. They were kind of struggling to get across sites, stay together, and move as well, so we'll see if that's going to be a problem. These days we know, versus the M4s, players like BlameF, for example, are so insane on the silenced M4s that these T rounds can be hard to come by.
Nexa between them, gonna rack up the costs. Imagine 2 kills there towards the end, counting the save, but no, they'll get away with double. Nexa, of course, ready to shape some more young players, but here's the Flamesy exit. First one, nice and easy. That smoke grenade goes down next to Glaive, kind of made it awkward, but then here it is, catching him as he started to go over.
Yeah, as soon as that flash comes out, you know, it's kind of like, shoot, we should have thrown the shallow molly instead. There's no way they could have known that, so again, well done. Back out to mid control. Looks like they're aiming for the B split once again. No one here sitting A ramp or Palace.
Was really fast in the pistol as well to get up catwalk. This time it's a little more slowed. Smoke between CTs, Molly follows.
I mean, there's a huge gap here. No cat players. Overstacked. Yeah, overstacked on the top of Con as well. Oh, trades come down.
There it is, that opening towards the catwalk, the opening towards the B site, where last time around it was Config and Farley to hold it off. But Xyp9x is going to offer us a kill and offer himself a smoke. A little position here to play with. Goes for the peek, takes down Degster. So Xyp9x, this time with the rifles, going to go ahead and stun OG. Fiku will finally get that trade. Down to 48 health himself. 3 CTs up, and they're going to give a little room over to OG here to work this site.
Yeah, we've distilled into an interesting position. It's not too bad for the T's. It looks like a plant will be offered over, but I don't know if OG know where the retake's going to come in from. They've probably still got some anxiousness towards the B-Apps flank as well.
Rightfully so.
Oh, that's actually an interesting spot for Fiku to play.
Config playing the long con, Neofrag keeping eyes on it. Molotov forcing him out ever so slightly. And yet he still holds on to this position. And like you said, right, Fiku back towards that door, and it's Neofrag to catch the cat player, still thinking about apartments. Config has slipped past, and with that, they'll slide through with another round win. So Astralis bouncing right back.
I thought that was going to work out. I like the spot that Fiku played. He's kind of impossible to find if you don't specifically come through the natural market exit, but Glaive does. They catch him out, and they don't win that retake. This is all about Xyp9x here on the hold. He's got this strong line from the van. There's no molly that comes down on the exec, and he stops that fast pressure coming off a cat as well. I think the setup overall invited OG in, and I think at the moment that they took cat control, they were looking good. I mean, going down 1 for 1 is beautiful. So overall, they were quite favored until Xyp9x stopped them.
Nice to see him on that scoreboard early as Farley clambers up. And Dexter doesn't get away with this pick. And a push from BlameF as well. Oh, push with the nade.
Wow.
Finds him downtown, dunked on as Dexter's dead.
That was a chess move by BlameF. Dexter, you could see he was holding for the push for a slight second, but then fell off it. Got chased down by the artillery and BlameF. He's still making presence here in mid.
Always keen to float around these positions, to re-aggress back in for more, and sure enough, this time it pays off again. 5 versus 3 off the back of BlameF. Who goes for another? Kind of locked between underground and top mid. Neofrag catching him, but losing half his own health. Config then activates from window. Flamesy never sees it coming. A quick death for him, and a 4v2 left over.
Yeah, real beautiful here. The move from BlameF, and also the agreement from all of Astralis to stay inside of mid. I think that's the big one. Sometimes you see when a team loses a position, then they go back in the most vanilla setup possible, but here's Astralis showing their confidence a bit, and it pays off greatly, so. Fantastic start from Config as well, 6-1. Maybe 7.
Maybe not. Op barrel in the front of the head. Neofrag, can he still piece this together? Bomb on his back, but a player in Palace, and that should be the end of him. Glaive gonna slide out just as he gets towards site to give Astralis their 4th.
You can see the game plan from OG. It feels like both teams quite prepared for Mirage. I think it was OG who allowed it to come through. As we heard from Xyp9x, he kind of made it seem like there was no surprises in the sense that they're hoping they would get Mirage. They're looking for it, and OG said, yeah, they'll give it to us, so let's see if we want to take it. And I think them abusing this cat play and stuff makes it feel like, all right, yeah, they've got the right idea. But ideas are only half the battle.
Right now, the only person or people executing is going to be that Config BlameF. 6 kills apiece. You brought it up right before the game went live. Statistically, and as Astralis first adopted this map, it was that duo that kind of had their comfort zone, wanted to take it over. And we're getting a good showing of it. But Neofrag shows some talent with the Deagle, kills 1 inside connector. to be traded out by Glaive. So again, emphasis on this mid fight, but no hardware for OG, and therefore no chance.
Yeah. Dexter all alone. Seen a lot of confidence from him in the interviews recently.
Yeah.
Someone called him cocky for his statement about how teams were calling him up while other operators were joking about him taking their spot. But I think he was just stating facts, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very matter-of-factly.
Yeah.
It's confidence if you can back up what you're saying.
Yes.
And I think coming off of that Lisbon performance.
Yeah, we did an interview with him, and he kind of spoke bluntly about the fact that, yeah, it looked like for him, that was the resume. You know, I think if he didn't play well at Lisbon, he said, why would any team pick him up? He proved a lot with that one, so that was a good sign.
A lot of questions kind of circling around him after the whole Spirit departure, right? How's he going to be in an English-speaking team? And he showed us that maybe communication's not as important as racking up the headshots. Because individually, dude, the guy was unstoppable in Lisbon. Therefore, earned his full time.
Oh, yeah, he was talking too, man. He was,
Oh, yeah.
He was comfy. All right, another quick A setup. I think Astralis won some points in terms of conditioning here, taking over mid control over and over again, a little bit more comfortable. They've also just slightly cleared out the underpass, it looks like, with config. I'm not sure exactly what angle he has here. And if things go right, it looks like OG should be able to score a plant. But Glaive moves inside of smokes.
And moves out through them as well. With that opening, blameF going over top of the mid smoke. And all of a sudden, we've got OG unfortunately boxed in, right? We kind of highlighted that hesitation, that scaling difficulty in a previous gun round. Well, this one too just gets stunned for a second because of Glaive, who gets away, and then that blameF boost makes it way too easy to clean up another couple pieces. Pushes this one down onto Dexter. Barrel of the op spotted, config blasted, and 2 counter-terrorists towards spawn. But Farley locks it in. Astralis, a comfortable 6-1 lead.
Yeah, always a bad sign when you're trying to put that bomb down on default and your CT smoke comes up. So I got to make sure the site doesn't feel like it's miles across and get through it faster. No, easier said than done, of course. The move that Glaive made was really confident and super sharp as well. So I think that made the difference. For a moment there, jump spot against CT with his teammates leaning towards the other half of the map. You could tell they didn't want it to be an A exec that fast, and they still survived. So another round where you could say OG, right idea, but weaker execution.
Unfortunately for OG, it's back into the dumpster of Deagles and Tech-9s.
Yeah, and conversely, config on the op.
Every once in a while, we are given this treat.
He might be the GOAT hybrid, man.
It's
okay,
very
no,
rare.
That's Stown. Stown is the GOAT hybrid, but he's up there.
It's very rare. So we watch and wait. Glaive off at the top of stairs. There's the scaling, nice and quick from OG, but a dink through smoke leads blameF to the man advantage. Farley's ensuring that nobody crosses over, so as Zipix takes CT spawn, Glaive also has a set of eyes on that cross. And a rambunctious bunch of CTs go pushing through that smoke. Bomb plant, that's something. 2 kills after, you take it. But then Zipix cleans up Neo frag, and they've got Fiku confirmed back sight, berating him with grenades as the retake shines through.
Yeah, and at least they got that bomb down. But 7-1 here quickly for Astralis. Feels like it's been about 5 minutes since this game started. They're on fire. No real bad questions for them. And they've also clued into what OG want to do, which I feel like if this game is going to go OG's way, it's going to start with them, picking the right sites and then winning those, converting those rounds. But right now they're picking the right site, losing those rounds. Now they're probably losing confidence in the fact that their game plan isn't going according to plan. And they've got to probably dig a little deeper for some new ideas.
Let's see what else they have in store. We haven't seen this affinity towards the B site unless it's coming off of that, quick pistol from Cat. One round where they press in, but they had Dexter in there early. And just kind of spread the numbers, right?
Well, they also don't know, I think, about the second op in play yet.
And why would you expect it?
Yeah.
Everybody postures and then leans back.
Do the setup off of spawn, so Farley's on cat this time around, and Config will leave his post as soon as they have cleared out everything else. OG just penduluming back and forth between the back of halls and A. Glaive in a new position on the site. It's a very classic move here from OG, very simple. And fortunately for them, there is no one from Astralis inside of it. I mean, Neofrag is on duty to watch for it. Well, looks like he's going to be coming in as a late lurk. Right now, just spotting the bottom of connector through this tiny gap in the boxes.
Config sniper up on triple box, waiting for that ramp play to come out. Oh, he gets one, but it's traded right back by Dexter. He's now scouring that bomb site, looking for more contact.
Oh, they need to go. 20, okay.
20 seconds, that kill right there. That opens up connector. Neofrag looking for the fight. Glaive holds off, but Dexter connects with another, and Flames just extending. No bomb pickup yet. 10 seconds left. They're going to go and grab it, scramble for it. All is good unless... Oh, wait.
But you can't.
Farley back in. Flames gets onto the bomb. Plant's going to go down. Fiku's shots confirmed that both are nearby.
But does Farley still think he's triple? Bomb cross back. Oh, there he saw it.
Fiku and Flames split up. One towards ramp, one stationary on site. The fight goes the way of Flames, and OG get that second round, but a little sketchy towards the end of things.
Yeah, don't feel good about that, honestly. A testy position. I mean, they made it happen because of the kills that come down, but the way they were postured up here, it's like, let's see if they make mistakes. And that's a fine attitude to have when you're up on time and up on numbers. But there's actually a moment here where the Astralis don't overpeak, then OG might beat themselves. And I think Astralis realized that OG should have as well, and will hopefully try to speed up a little bit more in those positions now. They double smoke the window.
Oh my god, and Config jumps across. That's one of those timings, normally this guy's dead. But as he reinvests into the double op once more, he gets to hang on to it.
Oh, did they double smoke the window to counter the Molotov?
Could be.
Oh.
Pretty wide opening on catwalk. Config's gonna have to deliver. And if he gets Flames inside of apps, then his eyes turn back. Down goes Neofrag. Zipix putting up numbers. Another double kill from inside sight. They know Config's here, but that missed shot opens the door. Flamesy jumps down right alongside Fiku. Blame F slipping into sight. And yet again, we're talking about a bomb that's down in the dirt. And as Flames makes a ruckus, Fiku swaps out to the AK. Looking for the clutch, and he starts it with the Blame F frag, but that takes him down to 13 health, so it's an easy ender from Glaive.
Yeah, very slippery here from Blame F. They went to check the market door just in case. He was already out. A little faster than you expect, and another great round out of Zipix.
Yeah, second double from the spot. Ooh, they've got him distracted with Config. Dexter, little tunnel vision.
Yeah, he's doing fantastic work. He's been playing this spot, almost the same exact area a few times now, but slightly different peaks, different timings, and I feel like the way that Astralis have been dynamic with the op placement, it's hard to read where his help is going to come from.
All the cash invested into this one. OG limited with a single Galil. They wait out that mid-presence early. Glaive just siphoning back towards CT spawn, and Config still wants this fight. Gotta be cautious though. Nexa coming out from underground.
Wow, look how many people are in different spots so far. I mean, we've had Farley, Config, and Zipix all playing cat in different rounds. Config being kind of way more pervasive. Good use of the op.
So a slight adjustment. We've seen one from OG already going back to this A exec, but last time it was Neofrag alone in mid. This time Nexa's underground. And they know about him. It's going to occupy Config. Confirms the ops inside of connector, and Neofrag dead. At the hands of Zipix, shaving one off of middle. 40 seconds left. Blame could go back to the window peak. Nexa nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He's just got to be ready for this peak. Meanwhile, A-site under question. Config, two players, drops Flames up close. regains vision, and at 25 seconds, blameF fighting Nexa towards middle. If Nexa goes down like that, then suddenly, yet again, OG gonna have a strong difficulty crossing into this site. Another op kill comes through from Config, and Dexter dead in the no man's land. Astralis' defense, rock solid.
It's awesome, and it looks like an offense, the way that they're moving around. They're taking a lot of aggressive control, and I think the best part is we're almost seeing, you know, spawn-based plays in their setup. So they got 2 ops. They have Config moving to wherever he wants to, and then different players are supplanting his positions on Cat. We had Farley spotting the window where Config was in the previous round. They pushed underpass a couple of times. They've never overextended to any serious degree. They haven't gone even for any huge flanks overall. They've just gone for the push early, seen if someone's in Palace, checked out mid. I think they've done it in the most tasteful way, and it's caught up OG every single time. I don't think, I mean, this is where you can kind of gear down the calling a little bit, right? I mean, you've already done a lot of really risky things, I feel like, in your mind. You've taken a lot of these risks, and they've worked. And for OG, they've just basically seen pistols every other round.
Those pistols rear their ugly heads yet again for OG. Sea of flashbangs, though, to be thrown at this B-bomb site. Which, yet again, Config up on Catwalk, but blameF is very quickly here, so even if Config didn't deliver that first op kill, and the second, things should have gone swimmingly. Damage into Neofrag, that one is cookie cutter clean. They just carved through OG's Tech-9s and Desert Eagles.
They're gonna have something to be proud of if this game ends the way that it's going right now for Astralis. This is a very strong map so far. Gonna make OG regret taking it to Mirage in the first place. And bring their stat up a little bit. Their map percentage win rate for Astralis. 2 ops maintained as we close out the end of this half. 3 rounds to go.
Next, going to try his hand again from underpass.
And see how we like tone it down a little bit again, because you've already got OG worried about every single move. So now the only aggressive place here is for Farley. He does have to worry about the bench peek that could come out late if they're not watching underpass, and they don't have full vision of that right now. But okay, they're watching the stop.
The clay pigeon gets across. Nexa still yet to spread his wings. Molotov holds him back. By the time he comes out, right, maybe potentially looking for that bench peek towards Catwalk, Farley's gone, blameF is retreated, and at the minute mark, Astralis just kind of comfortably gives them a little bit of space.
Step 1, take over mid, complete. But now we're down to 45 seconds, and this op, I mean, he's just calcified here on the A ramp, waiting for any kind of shadow to come through.
Gets away from the flash, drops his own smoke. Starting to pull away. We're talking 4 players up inside connector from OG. Wild spray from Glaive does not connect. blameF still cautious about window. 20 seconds left over, and here comes the commitment. Glaive goes down first. Config with a nice little snap, and blameF a helping hand. No headshot on those bricks. 15 seconds left over, and this one just comes to an absolute halt. No movement out of Con for OG. They're fighting to try and get their way out ramp, but the time is simply not there, and nor are the round wins. An 11th to Astralis.
Yeah, they're getting shaken up right now. Nice final shot from Dexter. That's the one bit of solace they have. They get to keep the op in the next round, but man, that could not have gone better from OG's eyes, I think. The only problem I saw was that, you know, we don't have an attack forming on either site. All we do is have mid control with a lot of health at the 45-second mark, so it's already a little scary from that point on. And then, you know, Blame can get away with peaks like this just walking out of the window, because how can they watch everything at that point in the round? There's still 5 alive from the CT side. Sometimes when Trace talks to Config, I just think it looks like Config talking to Config.
Yeah, it really is. It is.